All right, let's jump right into this explainer. We're going to unpack a quiet revolution that is literally rewiring the nature of human work right under our noses. Based on a deeply insightful discussion from BBC News, we'll explore the economic forces driving the shift, the myths swirling around it, and most importantly, the true value of human discernment. Because honestly, this isn't just about some flashy new software update. It's about figuring out exactly what our role is going to be in the future of work.
So, will AI replace you? It is the question of the decade, right? As our source material highlights, white-collar workers, especially folks in the tech sector who traditionally felt totally insulated from automation, are suddenly asking themselves this exact question. The anxiety has reached an absolute fever pitch. Management teams are getting really infatuated with the idea of swapping out human labor for artificial intelligence, and we're seeing this fear spread like wildfire across major industries. Now, the tension between human judgment and artificial efficiency really boils down to one fascinating concept. The original meaning of the word skill is actually rooted in discernment, in judgment. It's all about knowing what is actually good. When senior professionals use AI, they're leaning on years of hard-won judgment to guide the machine. They aren't just letting the autopilot run the whole shebang, they're actively exercising their discernment. Section 1. The Invisible Workplace Transition. The experts point out that this current shift is a massive step change. Think about the internet for a second. It arrived gradually, right? It was bound to a desktop you actually had to sit down at, highly visible. But AI? It arrived basically overnight, post-2022, right into everyone's pockets, catching schools, universities, and entire corporate institutions totally off guard. It's highly invisible. We're dealing with a transition that didn't bother waiting for institutions to adapt. It just bypassed them entirely and went straight to the user. Welcome to the modern office Wild West. While a company might have this grand, highly approved AI strategy written down somewhere, the reality on the ground is completely chaotic. Workers are secretly bringing in unauthorized systems, literal second laptops are showing up at desks, and people are deploying their own personal AI agents to act as assistants. It's a total clash of top-down corporate strategy meeting invisible bottom-up reality. Section 2. Centaurs versus reverse centaurs. Okay, so automation theory gives us this brilliant way to look at our relationship with these tools. First, the centaur. If you're a centaur, you are using your unique human discernment to direct the tireless brute strength of the machine. The horse body has way more raw power and stamina than you ever will, but it absolutely cannot exercise your judgment. In this model, you are the head. You set the direction, make the nuanced calls, and use the tech to just amplify your own human capabilities. But here's the catch. The danger lies in becoming a reverse centaur. This is where you are basically reduced to a peripheral appendage directed by the AI. You become the horse's body, and the machine is the head. The source warns this happens when workers are recruited just to facilitate the machine's output, entirely losing their autonomy and their ability to apply any real expertise. So it all comes down to this choice. Are you guiding the technology with your subjective discernment, or are corporate demands for insane throughput forcing you to blindly rubber stamp outputs at unimaginable speed? Are you the one innovating, or have you just become a human stamp of approval for a system that's moving way too fast for you to actually comprehend? Section 3. The Discernment Drain. The source provides a truly chilling example of this dynamic. Imagine a radiologist expected to sign off on 1,000 AI-evaluated X-rays every single day. Because the AI is generally right most of the time, genuine attention just vanishes. The human brain literally switches off. They stop looking for anomalies, they stop exercising judgment, and they become nothing more than a biological machine for clicking OK. And this is absolutely crucial for the future of our workforce. Think about the life cycle of expertise. You spend your early years doing junior tasks to build tacit process knowledge, the unwritten rules of how things actually work. By year 10, you have the nuance to formulate the right questions and drive innovation. Well, if companies use AI to eliminate all those junior roles, we completely sever the pipeline that creates future experts. Once you automate away the foundational work, that pipeline of human discernment is broken, and it takes a very, very long time to heal. Section 4. A trillion-dollar bubble? Let's talk economics. A staggering 35% of the S&P 500 is currently made up of just 7 tech firms, heavily concentrated in this one single sector. That is massive. The analysis points out how extremely vulnerable this setup is, with the entire market leaning heavily on just a few giants making unprecedented bets on AI technology.
And the financial disconnect here is mind-boggling. We're talking about an industry spending roughly $1.5 trillion a year on infrastructure, while only making about $50 billion in return. I mean, to put that into perspective, spending $1.5 trillion to make $50 billion looks incredibly like a bubble. Critics in the discussion argue that this kind of math just isn't sustainable. To justify that level of expenditure, the industry practically has to promise absolute miracles. Section 5. The illusion of consciousness. To justify those wild valuations, some tech leaders are leaning on an almost mystical narrative. But as one expert brilliantly puts it in the source material, believing a word-guessing program will wake up is like believing that breeding faster horses will eventually give birth to a locomotive. It's an objectively silly distraction from the real issues of labor and corporate power. Guessing words really well might look like intelligence, but mistaking a statistical extrapolation model for actual subjective experience is a massive blind spot. We are in grave danger here of mistaking convincing, programmed behavior for true subjective experience. You know how we naturally feel empathy for an inanimate child's toy, like a teddy bear? It's exactly like that. When developers claim an AI is 51% conscious, the source argues that's just meaningless marketing hype. We're essentially just anthropomorphizing a highly complex autocomplete feature. Section 6. Reclaiming human judgment. So, how do workers maintain their value? Well, relying purely on technical skills to be scarce is actually a really brittle defense against automation. Tech workers had power for years because they were scarce, but when supply catches up and redundancies hit, that power just evaporates. The source points out that true resilient worker power comes from solidarity, collective coordination, and redefining the value of the human touch. It's about fiercely valuing work AI literally cannot do, like frontline care, teaching, and essential roles that require profound human empathy. As we navigate this massive transition, we all have to decide how we interact with these tools. Will you use AI to elevate your discernment, fighting to remain the active head of the Centaur? Or will you surrender your judgment and become a reverse Centaur, just a biological machine for clicking OK? The true value in the age of AI isn't in generating text, it's in knowing what is actually meaningful. Thank you for joining me on this explainer. Keep questioning, keep learning, and whatever you do, don't lose your discernment.